What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today I am pretty happy, honestly, ladies and gentlemen. I am pretty gosh darn happy, because I've been waiting to get the full deck list for those starter decks coming out soon, and we now do have the starter deck lists, so let's go and have a look at starter deck 12. We now know all the cards in there, and I, for one, am delighted. I'm hoping to do openings of these on my channel next week when they come out. Fingers crossed. Let's hope it all works out. So we are looking at the Jesmon deck today, and what we've got is one Digitarmor. It's Gankumon. Remember, the way they tend to do this is they'll have kind of, rather than 5 Digitarmor, they'll just have 4, and they're all the same. Remember, you can have 5 in your deck, but only 4 of each one. They give you 4 of one. You don't get a 5th, but it's all right, ladies and gentlemen. You'll be okay. So Gankumon here, 1 inheritable skill. While you have 2 or more Digimon in play, this Digimon gains 1,000 power. Should mention translations from the lovely folks over at digimoncard.dev. It's fine. It's not stunning. I don't think anyone's going to pretend this is stunning. It's fine. Bit of extra power, not a terrible thing. We can be okay with it. We've then, moving on to level 3's got Gankumon, and as I told you when this one was initially revealed, there's not much to this. It's a 2 cost to play level 3. And we've seen these before. There was a Biyomon in a starter deck, amongst many others. I think this is a 6th one we've seen in red. It's fine, but there's nothing special. Now Solomon comes along, and this one says that on all turns, players cannot reduce play costs. And this will help against a whole bunch of Digimon, but we did see those cross Digimon coming around in BT10 just the other day, and shall we say one of their main things seems to be reducing play costs. So although this is intermittently good at the moment, the better those cross Digimon from BT10 get, the better stuff like Solomon is actually going to end up being. We've got Huckmon. Now it's another standard level 3 stats wise, but on your turn, once per turn, when you play a Digimon with Systemon in its name, gain a memory. Well, you're playing a Jesmon deck, there's going to be Systemon, we'll get to those in a moment. So yeah, gaining memory every time you play one, that's clearly a good thing. Also on all turns, while this Digimon has Huckmon in its name or Royal Knight in its traits, you gain 1,000 power, and it's only 1,000 power, but combine that with Gankumon, you end up with decent power boosting, and that can help out in a whole bunch of games. Meramon is a 1 cost to Digivolve level 4. That's what's special. It really is as simple as that. Cost, fine. Power, fine. No skills. Vanilla card. 1 cost to Digivolve. That's it. That's what makes it special. And it's fine. We've seen some of these before in red, but it's still quite nice to have. Bao Huckmon has an inheritable skill on all turns. While this Digimon has Huckmon in its name or Royal Knight in its traits, you gain 1,000 power. But bearing in mind that's the same skill we saw on Huckmon, and Gankumon is also gaining us a bit of power, that's going to, spoiler alert, put Jesmon up to 15,000 power, which is up to level 7 territory at that stage. You are getting a lot of power boosting going on. Skull Meramon is a vanilla Digimon, and honestly, this one is, well, it's quite hard to defend, if I'm honest with you, because 6 cost to play normally is, 737 is standard, this is 639. 6 cost to play normally, 3 cost to Digivolve, 9,000 power. So sure, it's slightly cheaper to play, and sure, it's slightly more powerful, but the reality is, most of the time, what you're really going to want is a cheaper one to Digivolve, or something a bit more powerful. I'm just not in favour of this, I'm afraid. I don't like this card. Saviour Huckmon, we've got a standard level 5 stats wise, but when Digivolving, this Digimon can also attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon until the end of the turn. Now, bearing in mind you've got 7,000 power, but we got a level 2, a level 3, and a level 4 that can boost you by 1,000. At which point you've got 10,000 power, which is significantly better, more impressive, more exciting, phrase it how you will. And this is actually really nice, because you can attack unsuspended Digimon, so if your opponent's got one they're saving, you know the rule, you can only attack suspended Digimon, so you can generally not attack, you remain unsuspended, you can't be attacked. Savior Huckmon can boost up nicely and then take out Digimon that are waiting. I like this. Also, when you're attacking once per turn, if this Digimon has Royal Knight in its traits, you can play a Digimon with Systemon in its name from your hand or trash without paying its memory cost. And we know at this stage that, generally speaking, this is what these Jesmon decks kind of do. Playing Systemon for free is not new, but that doesn't mean it's not good. And as an inheritable skill, combined with your really good Digivolution skill, this is one of the real stars of the deck. I think this one is great. Now, we've been continually red up till now. We've only been red, but now Volcanomon comes in, and we've got a dual-color Digimon. We are both black and red. And we Digivolve from either black or red. And it's a little expensive, 8 cost to play rather than 7 normally, 4 cost to Digivolve rather than the usual 3, although you do have the decency to be more powerful than normal, which is nice. But you've got Blocker, and that's where the more powerful comes in. You should be able to confidently block almost everything below level 6 and survive, which is awesome. And you've got Security Attack +1, which is brilliant. We love Security Attack +1, bearing in mind we've got all that extra power we're boosting on the previous Digimon. So, yes, it's expensive. I don't like the cost, but give me a blocker that also has Security Attack +1 as an inheritable skill when you Digivolve out of the blocker. This is another one I'm very keen on. I don't like the cost, but outside of that, I do like the card. Now, the one we're really excited about here, let's make no bones about it, it's Jesmon. That is the star of the deck. Is it worthy of it? Well, what we've got here is when Digivolving Blitz, that's the one that says you can attack when you Digivolve, even if the memory should have passed over to your opponent. And then when attacking, you may play a Digimon with Systemon in its name from your hand, without paying its memory cost. And this is really important to note. This is played from your hand, not hand or trash like so many others. I mean, we literally just saw on Savior Huckmon that can play from the hand or trash as an inheritable skill. This one can only play from the hand, but then again, if you Digivolve from Savior Huckmon, then when attacking you can play 2 Systemon, but one does need to be from your hand. It is worth pointing out, this Jesmon is not limited to once during your turn, so you can potentially attack multiple times and play multiple Systemon, and that's clearly a very good thing. And then on your turn, once per turn, when you play another Digimon by effect, bearing in mind that's kind of what we're trying to do here, play these Systemon for free, this Digimon gains 3,000 power and Security Attack +1 for the turn. Now, if you build up the evolution line, what we can basically be doing here, let's say you've gone Volcanomon over Savior Huckmon, and you've got all the ones that boost power, then all of a sudden, when you play a Systemon by effect, which will happen when you attack, you end up with 18,000 power and Security Attack +2. +1 for the Jesmon, +1 for Volcanomon. That's ridiculous! The highest natural power any Digimon's had so far is 16. You can get up to 18 with Security Attack +2, and you're playing a Systemon for free. This is very good, ladies and gentlemen. This is very, very much worth having, a bit of excitement over. And bear in mind, even if Digivolving would turn the turn over to your opponent, you still get your attack because of Blitz. Now, the other level 6 coming in here is Gankumon. It is pure black, but it can Digivolve from red or black, which is honestly really important because this entire deck, other than Volcanomon, is pure red. So it's pretty gosh darn important that this could Digivolve from either. We've then got a Digivolution skill that lets you play a Huckmon, or a Digimon with Systemon in its name from your trash, without paying its cost. And here it is the opposite of Jesmon. It is trash only, not trash or hand. So that is something you absolutely need to remember, be aware of, phrase it how you will. And then on your turn, once per turn, when you play a Digimon by effect, and like we've said, that is the kind of thing that this deck is absolutely looking to do, you may Digivolve 1, 2, of your opponent's Digimon. That is where you trash the top card of their stack, so to speak, just so long as it doesn't put them down to no Digimon or a level 2 Digimon. And this is not bad. Again, you're playing Digimon by effect, that's kind of the whole point, and this is a pretty nice skill if that's where you're going. Now, we do have the Systemon here, they do need to be mentioned. Systemon blank. When you play, you may trash a card in your hand to draw 2. Nice. It actually ends up you play Systemon and trash a card, -2 in hand, then you draw 2, so you're cycling cards quite nicely. And then on all turns, while you have a Digimon with Huckmon in its name or Royal Knights in its traits, this Digimon gains Decoy Red or Black. That means that if a red or black Digimon is going to be deleted by an opponent's effect, you can delete Systemon blank instead. And bearing in mind, you play this, you draw 2, then having it as a decoy, it's done largely what it was going to do. That's a good thing. Now, the picture on the other Systemon is Systemon Noir, but we all know that when it gets printed in English, it's going to be Systemon Seal, it's going to be called Systemon Seal, and it's going to have artwork of Systemon Seal, not Systemon Noir. We know that we don't get Systemon Noir in the English version of the card game, that's just the way it is. But when you play, and remember, these Systemon have good play skills, but you also end up playing them for free a bit. You add a card with Huckmon in its name or Royal Knight in its traits among them to your hand, which is good. And then on all turns, all of your Digimon with Huckmon in their name or Royal Knight in their traits gain Reboot. Reboot is where you unsuspend during your opponent's unsuspend phase, which is brilliant because it means that you won't be suspended on their turn. Because all of your Digimon, or all the relevant ones at least, are going to be unsuspending, they won't be suspended on your opponent's turn, which means your opponent won't be able to attack them. This is clearly a very good thing indeed. We've then got 3 option cards. We've got the 1-cost OS Generics. One of your Digimon gains 2,000 power for the turn, but if you've got a Digimon with Huckmon in its name or Royal Knight in its traits, you gain a memory, and one of your Digimon gains Piercing. Basically, if you've got a Huckmon or a Royal Knight out, you can give one of your Digimon 2,000 power and one of your Digimon Piercing for 0 cost. That's clearly redonk. And bearing in mind, Saviour Huckmon can attack unsuspended Digimon. Sure would be cool if you could do that and then attack the security straight after. Teacher-Student Journey is a 2-cost option card. Reveal 3 cards on the top of your deck, add a card with Huckmon or Systemon in its name, or a card with Royal Knight in its traits to your hand, and then put this in the battle area. And on a delay, the next time one of your Digimon Digivolves this turn, reduce the memory cost by 1. So basically you end up getting 1 of that memory back, and that's a good thing. And then we've got the 7-cost Quake, Bolt, Fire, Father. If you have a Digimon with Huckmon or Systemon in its name, or Royal Knight in its traits in play, you may use this option card without meeting its colour requirements. Important because, like we said, there are not many black Digimon in this deck. You delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 13 or less. And like I told you at the time, this one makes me a little bit sad because it's basically Gaia Force, but it's 1 memory cheaper. But you've got to have a play cost of 13 or less. And I know most of the time that's fine, but there will be occasional times where you need to get something bigger, and you are going to be out of luck. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen, that is the deck as a whole. That is all the new cards in the deck. Remember, I've looked at all of these in their own videos. You can either search on the channel, or most of them should be in the description, so you can go and find out my more in-depth thoughts on a lot of these. But as an overview of the deck, there you go. This one looks pretty good. There are some good cards in here, the Systemon, the Saviour Huckmon, the Volcanomon, etc., which I think are worth getting excited about, but I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.